Right. Welcome to episode 45 of Inside Jogging Podcast. Thanks for joining us for another week. Hopefully we can provide you with some decent company for the next hour or so, whether you're running or maybe pottering around the garden like our very own Matt Clowes. I'm sure we can give you some good value. In a week that's seen temperatures rise across the UK, I'm also joined by a man who doesn't get hot even in a full tracksuit during his warm-ups. But let's see how he deals when his coach brings the heat tonight. How's life, Josh Lunn?
Good. Yeah, not too bad. I've just got back from London, so I've been a bit travelling a little bit.
The big smoke. How's London?
It was good. I went to see Stormzy, which was enjoyable.
Why does everybody like to say that they've been travelling to London? It's like the thing, isn't it? It's like everyone thinks they're really cool. It's, I've just been to London.
To be fair, that is where I went.
And was it mainly all teenagers that went to that gig last night?
No, actually, it was when I went to Dave the other day that I felt really old. Last night was probably more my age range. I think the thing is, Dave is probably more fashionable with younger people now, where Stormzy's he's been around a little bit more.
Any favourites?
He bought Dave out, which was good.
Did he?
Yes.
And you also nearly dropped a K on some Nike shoes.
Not necessarily just Nike. I've been browsing some casual trainers. I don't know which ones to get.
Can you talk me through these Balenciagas and what is the point of them?
I just like the look of them.
You like the look of Balenciagas?
It was those Nike ones I sent you, which were pretty bad.
So these shoes that cost really, you like the look of them?
Yeah, I think they look sick.
Oh, the days. Right.
Before we go to the shoes, what a shit name to call an app Dave. Do you not agree? Like, I'm not bashing the name Dave. I think it's a great name. It's solid. But an actual artist name just called himself Dave.
Yeah, I can relate to that.
What would you prefer?
I don't know.
Not very unique, is it?
Yeah, Pitbull, or I don't know. What else have you got?
Pitbull. Right, moving on. Anyway, Matt, how's life in Wrexham? You're on holiday, are you still?
Well, I'm basically on holiday, yeah, because I finished my job last Wednesday, so I've just been chilling until I start my new one. So I'm off now until start my new job on Thursday.
Purchasing plenty of things. Did you like my new planter outside my house?
Lovely, yeah. I got a lot of time for that.
Aaron, at first, when you said I need to get a new planter, I was like, I've not hurt my planter recently. I thought you actually meant in my foot.
You will if you get them stupid trainers.
Yeah. Right. Who's been running this week? Matt? Now, let's start with Josh. Josh had an interesting week. I want to hear from this.
Okay, bear with me. Why do you think it's interesting before we start?
I've just seen various things on Strava throughout the week, and yeah, just the posts in our WhatsApp group during the week, and just interested to see how it all went.
Monday morning, 9 miles. Oh, well, I'm a K guy now, so the confusion here is going to be I've been running in Ks, but my Strava's in miles, just to keep me slightly sort of in correlation with the pace. So 9 miles Monday morning, 6:39 average. Aaron quickly left. Did you hear that, Aaron?
I just had to close the door in case Eliza came screaming in. And I heard you're a K guy.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan. I actually got told off during the week for being a K guy, so I'm a fan of it.
I posted something on my Instagram story and I got a lot of abuse for it. But
So,
I'm sticking with it. So,
but before you go into this, my feedback to these people who take issue with it is, first of all, how far is a running track?
400 meters.
So if you're happy to use meters there, then why are you moaning? Second of all, what do you weigh yourself in?
Normally my boxers.
So if you're happy with kilograms, again,
That was quick for you.
Yeah.
Sweet.
If you're happy with kilograms, again, don't come at me. If you're at pounds and ounces, fair enough. You're old school. I'll deal with miles. But anyway, carry on.
So actually, I think at the beginning of the week I was running to time anyway, so that was an hour. Then in the evening, I did my weights and Sorry, that was Tuesday night. So Tuesday night I had a tempo, and I was going to do my weights before, just sort of my calf raises and stuff. So I did those at the gym, and then I was like, whilst I'm here, I'm just going to do the tempo on the treadmill. It actually felt pretty quick. So I did 2-mile warm up and 20 minutes at 5:15s. Yeah, so I don't know if you guys get it. If you've not been running, I don't think you did, Matt, but I don't know if you do, Aaron. Get a bit of soreness at the bottom of your back if you haven't run much for a while.
I saw you put this on Strava as if it was a thing. It's a thing that I've never heard of.
I was talking to Callan, and I can't remember. He mentioned someone that he knows gets it as well.
The issue you've got is that you stick your arse out and you arch your lower back.
I don't think I've got the strongest core in the world, so I think it's probably that.
Wow, you've been doing core 5 hours a day for the last month, so I hope you have a decent core by now.
So yeah, so that was Tuesday evening. It felt harder than I was kind of hoping, but yeah, it was all right. And then did 2-mile warm down. Then Wednesday morning, I went out and did 70 minutes, it was just under 70 minutes. So I think I might have gone, would that have been 16K? Maybe. And that was 6:36 average.
Any more to comment on that?
Well, I was waiting for you to comment. No, moving on nicely.
Tracksuit season.
Oh, sorry. I've messed up here. I didn't run on Wednesday because I had annoying. I was working late on Tuesday nights, and then I had to go to the office on Wednesday. And just going to the office is just terrible. It just messes your whole routine up. So yeah, not a big fan of that. And then we had like a work due on Wednesday evening, so it was a bit hard to get out. So yeah, so that was Thursday morning. I did that 10 miles.
Hold on, how was your work still?
We did an escape room, and then we went out for a meal. So yeah, it was all right. We escaped, so it was good.
Were you on the bevs again?
No, I had sparkling water all evening.
Was there any stories?
No, well, I left probably at like 9 o'clock.
Soul of this party is Josh Lunn.
After bedtime, I know. Yeah, so that was Thursday morning. I did the 10 miles. Then Friday, I was toying with the idea of a double, but I think it's too early, which is sensible. I think I spoke to you, Matt, and you said sort of probably don't do it. Yeah.
No. What did Matt say?
I can't remember, to be honest, that far back.
Was there a probably in there?
Probably not.
Yeah, there was a no.
Don't double. So the probably was my thought process before. Then I asked Matt, and he was like, "Don't do it." Yeah. So did 4K warm up. Then the session was 5 sets of 90, 60, 30, and the recovery, which was actually pretty savage, was 60 after the 90, and then 30 after the 60. And the 30, was pretty tough because my what I found was my heart rate was getting pretty high on the minute, but then not really dropping so much on the 30. And then it probably didn't help as well that I was meant to jog the recovery, and my recoveries were probably a bit too quick. And that's not intentionally. I think what I said to Matt is, once you get used to float recoveries like a marathon session, I was running probably 6-minute miling, but that just seemed the norm. So yeah, my heart rate was pretty high. So yeah, I mean, overall it was like 7 miles at 5:17s. So I was pretty happy with that, to be honest. You look like you're in thought, Aaron.
I've got plenty of comments. I'm going to let you flow through your week, and then I'm going to come back to a few questions. And
then just did just over 20 minutes warm down. Then Saturday, went out with Jake and did 75 minutes, 6:19 average.
That's the best one.
Yeah. And then in the afternoon, I did weights and just 30 minutes really easy on the cross trainer. And then Sunday morning, I did 8 miles, or it was an hour at 7:13s, nice and easy.
So what's that? 60 miles, 60 on the dot.
Yeah, that actually wasn't intentional.
So let's just roll back the week a little bit.
Yeah.
So you do your first little session on Tuesday.
Yeah.
20-minute tempo. Fair. And you have Wednesday off, and then Thursday morning you run it 6:36 pace. and your heart rate is what? Average 157, and you're up to 175 going uphill at the end. So most of that second half of the run, you were over 155. And I know you said last week you don't look at your watch, but I'm not having this anymore. You know if you're running too fast, you'll feel that.
Well, there's too fast, and it depends on your heart rate, doesn't it? It depends what you're looking for.
Well,
if I'm running 640s and my heart rate's 130.
No, but you will feel. You got up to one. So at 9 miles, you're up to 170. So the whole of the last mile, you are at 170. You are at threshold. You will feel that, and
I'll flip it the other way. I ran this morning, and my heart rate was like 130, and it felt no different to me running on Sunday, and my heart rate was like 140.
We're not talking about Sunday. We're talking about Wednesday.
Yeah.
Or Thursday, whatever it was.
So yeah, I feel like I'm running like on the harder side of easy.
Well, you're running at threshold.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. It doesn't
harder than marathon pace. You will feel that. So what do you mean you disagree? There's nothing to disagree with. So you don't feel you're running at threshold?
No.
So why can you not run that heart rate for a marathon then? If it's so easy.
I'm not saying it's easy. I'm saying that doesn't feel like my marathon pace.
I don't. Your whole perception just seems a bit mixed up. Anyway, so in my mind, you know you're running too hard, but you carry on. So that's your Thursday. So you then go into your Friday and you do a session with Jake, which is not what's been set, and you go quite hard. Sorry?
Yes, it is.
Matt set that session exactly.
Wow, he said jog the recovery, and I ran on my own. I did 1 rep with Jake. Or 2 reps with Jake. So
Matt's session was to do 7 miles at 5:17s.
No, that's what I just said. The recovery was not what he said.
So and you did an additional 90 and 60.
90 and 60, but that's it.
Yeah, so it's not the session. That's what I'm getting at. Can you not see that?
It's 2.5 minutes extra running.
With different recovery. His session.
It's a completely different session when you do steady in between.
Yeah. So you do that, which again is a bit too hard. And then you go out Saturday morning over the hills with Jake and run again at far too much intensity. So you've done like off the back of an injury, you've done 3 days back to back where you've run pretty hard. Does that not just feel a bit? I know you and Matt have had a conversation. We're not going to go into that, but
we've got into it. But
yeah, but we haven't. But like, why do you want to like deviate from the plan? Just what in your head like wants you to? Why do you do it?
I want to deviate from the plan.
You don't want to.
Well, that's not my thought. So I run as I feel.
Yeah, but that's not what the plan is it? The plan isn't just Josh, here's your day, run how you feel. The plan is designed to sort of allow for recovery and allow for improvement and all these things. So you do have to, if you've got a plan, you do have to sort of follow it kind of loosely.
Yeah, I do. Loosely.
But what is it in your head that makes you want to run harder all the time?
Well, it's the same thing I said last week. I don't enjoy jogging. Simple as that.
Okay, so you've done those days. How did you come? Like, how are you feeling today off the back of those days?
Fine.
So you've got no issues with injuries?
The only soreness I have is from doing the weights. I have a bit of DOMS and that's it. But I jogged yesterday and I felt terrible.
Right. So do you think you felt terrible because of the pace or because of all the intensity?
I felt lethargic.
But is that not just tiredness?
No. I would say tiredness is more like being sore. I know the difference between tiredness when you're doing like 120 miles a week or
the issue is
sessions.
You're gonna feel lethargic running slower because you're not running optimally.
Yeah, exactly.
As well.
Exactly it. And it's like what my old or my physio said. My heart rate actually sometimes is no different running 7:30s to 6:30s because I'm just
it
not.
Will be.
No, that's what Adam said. And like, there's a few times. Do you not remember when I ran for a consistent time at like 7:30s? My heart rate was like 130, and then when I did a block of like running sort of more around 6:30s, it was the same.
I think it's all relevant, isn't it? I think with the next day after a session, your heart rate could be lower or it could be the same as you running faster or slower. It all depends on the day before. I always find it's the second day after the session, not the first day after the session, that you'll see a big difference in the recovery in your heart rate as well.
The thing I said to Matt when we spoke about this is, if you look at actually when I've run my fastest times, I was doing this pretty much every day and 3 sessions a week.
But you didn't run the times that I would say you're capable of.
But I still ran faster than I'm running now.
Yeah, but you've got to go through a period of following it for a whole block and then seeing the result at the end of it. We spoke about this last week, and you said yourself you need to follow something for a block of 3-4 months to see the outcome.
No, I'm talking about when I ran my PBs in 2019.
Yeah, but let's take I know this is what you talk about, but let's take your 5K PB.
Yeah.
Like, even when you were doing this training, you never ran that fast over 5K.
Yeah, but I haven't run since.
Sorry?
But I haven't run faster since.
Yeah, but I would argue that was probably because you were doing so much intensity that you couldn't then like produce on a sole 5K effort. But anyway, my question is, next couple of weeks, are you going to stick to the plan or?
Yeah, well, I'm trying. I ran slow this morning.
Here we go. He's in. He's back. I've got another question. We'll move off this to a lighter topic. Your shoe choice for your session. Obviously, you had the multicolored Vaporflies. Are we now warming up in multicolored shoes too?
No, that's a pair.
What? There's one white, one black.
Yeah.
As a pair.
Pegasus. Yeah.
They sell them like this.
When they first came out, they did. Yeah.
Are you sure?
Oh yeah, 100%. They were like a limited, like, I don't know, not limited edition, but
limited to Josh Lunn.
Yeah, no, they came out like honestly.
And okay. I have one question as well. Is what's with everyone wearing arm sleeves when it's like 15 degrees outside?
I was really glad I wore them because it got quite chilly near the end.
What's your thoughts on the full tracksuit warm up, Matt?
I mean, Josh knows me. When we used to warm up for sessions, I was pretty much in what I was going to do a session in.
Breeze, and he'd be in a vest.
So Josh was wearing his full winter tracksuit round the park, running with Jake Smith was in his full Ineos tracksuit, warming up. And there's a picture where there's a bloke and his wife out for a nice evening stroll in vested t-shirt, and Josh and Jake come flying past in full tracksuit.
The worst time to do a session as well at Butte Park on a Friday evening.
Anyway, Josh, I'm not trying to abuse you. I'm
happy to have a conversation.
I'm just intrigued with the mindset. That's all. I just can't grasp it.
I'll just leave it with when I was in my old training group, we started and we cut down from this. We used to temp on a Monday, session on a Tuesday, temp on a Thursday, and session on a Saturday. So actually, from what I've gone from, this is a lot easier.
And who ran a good marathon off that?
Well, nobody, because they were 15, 16.
Yeah, but
everyone's fucked.
Yeah, and that's why we went down to 3 days of running. Like, they're not like flat out, but they're steady run or like decent steady runs.
Yeah, but what did you run a marathon off then?
Yeah, but I didn't run a marathon.
You did. You did in Frankfurt with me. I know you forget about this race that you dropped out of.
Well, no, because that was after that.
You were still training with that group.
Yeah, in a different. It was like a completely different thing, though. That was not what I'm talking about. When I ran my half and my 10K, they're not.
So who's convinced you that you need to run faster throughout the week is where I'm getting at.
No one's convinced me. I'm convinced. I've just looked back at what I've done, and that is what I did when I ran my best.
So your data set is yourself, and you're going off a benchmark of the odd race that you did that what you think.
Okay, but
good.
say for example, Matt jogs all the time. That works for him. It doesn't mean it worked for me.
I'm not
So
saying it.
the probably the most appropriate person to look at is me.
Okay, fair. Well, it's just interesting to get your thoughts on it. I'm just intrigued. Anyway, Matt, we'll go into your training week. What you
Let's
got
do
for
it.
me?
All right, so Monday. Let me get it. What date was Monday?
7 days ago from today, 21st.
Yeah, 21st.
You're still in
So
Portugal,
I was still in
believe.
Portugal, actually. Yeah, so what did we do? 8 miles, 7:55 pace up on the top. It was, I think we had every, because I ran with Gina, I think we had every weather condition going. Started sunny, then it pissed it down, then it was windy, then it basically did a repeat on that about 4 times. So that was Monday. Nothing else on Monday because we flew back. Then Tuesday, 9 miles. I was planning on doing the session I did on Friday on Tuesday, but just with traveling back and stuff, my Achilles was a little sore, a bit stiff. So I decided to basically just do a little pickup. So it was 9 miles in total. I averaged 6:21, and then just picked up miles 7 to 9. So got to about 5:35, and then progressed a little bit to 5:34, then to 5:29. So just to test the Achilles, see how it feels, see how the body is as well at a bit quicker pace. Picked up a crown as well, which was nice.
How did it feel? You feeling still unfit?
Yeah, I'm pretty out of shape, to be fair, but the Achilles is okay, so that's the main thing, isn't it?
Exactly.
I think the thing is, there's no rush. You just you can build fitness very quickly when you get the consistency in the legs again. So that was Tuesday, which was decent actually. Weather has been beautiful, so it's really helped actually this last few days. Wednesday, 8 miles, 7:37 pace. Again, just dead easy. Trying to keep everything really easy and sort of chilled in the week. Wednesday was my last day at my old job, so that was a bit of a busy day with driving to the office and then coming back on the train. So that was a long day. And then on the Thursday, ran a little bit later on in the day. That was 8 miles, so 8 miles at 6:49 pace. I feel like a bit of a hero, to be honest, when I get under sub-7s for a run these days.
Especially on the elephant loop.
Yeah, that's a classic. I did some strides as well, actually. It's just nice to get back on the old loops, actually. That was just over 8.5 miles, 6:49 pace. The heart rate's still too high on them runs sub-7s, but it'll come down as the weeks progress.
Yeah. So how do you? I mean, obviously we just spoke to Josh about this, but same question to you. Like, if you so you're trying to run easy-ish, do you worry if it goes too high? Do you actively slow down, or do you just roll with it and just know over the next few weeks it will naturally come down?
So let's say if I'm doing an easy run and my heart rate's creeping up to 130, I just slow down.
You just slow down.
Because again, you're not getting fit from the recovery runs. You're getting fit from the body of work, aren't you? So that is your sessions. Your sessions are going to bring your heart rate down on the recovery runs if you're recovering. And I know that'll come down. I think when I'm at my fittest, I'm probably running about 7:30 pace, and my heart rate's maybe 112, 115, which is, I know, extremely low.
But do you notice when it, without looking, like, because if I'm running along, I'll think, oh, I'm working too hard here. Look at my watch and it'll be high. Do you notice if you're working too hard?
Yeah, I mean, I could not even wear a heart rate strap and I know what my heart rate is there or thereabouts.
I just spoke to Jake about this. I can genuinely do a run, and if I don't look at my watch, I could get a heart rate reading 30 beats different, and I wouldn't know any different. And
it's interesting.
I can feel it. I feel if I feel tired, but I've had runs before where I was like, wow, I feel so tired, and my heart rate's been really, really low.
And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I can't work it out because on one side, if it's not, like, for me, if I'm doing a recovery run and I'm working at 170, I just physically couldn't do it. I wouldn't be able to get up to 170. Whereas for you, if you're not feeling it, you might still be getting some benefit. I don't know. I have no idea.
My legs feel like the limiting factor, not my heart rate or my heart. Because Friday, that session I did, my average heart rate was 175. I think 192.
I suppose my other thing is, like, is that a negative for your longer races if you can't have that perception? Because for me, if I'm doing a marathon, I just intrinsically know how hard I'm working and can stay in that sort of zone. Whereas if you can't perceive that, is that a negative for your marathon? You might go too hard and then it hits you. I don't know.
I can feel it in my legs though. That's what I mean. So like at London last year, I could feel it felt too quick. But I don't know. Not always with my heart rate.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, Matt.
I think at the end of the day, right, I'm just going to get back to this. It's a simple recipe, isn't it? So you want to stress your body, you want to recover from the stress, and you want to stress the body again. It's very simple. I don't get why runners complicate all this shit week on week. And I'm not saying that I've got my crap down, because I definitely haven't. But I don't get why everyone's doing all this complex stuff every week. It's like, run hard, whether it's a Tuesday, Friday, or it's Wednesday, Sunday, or whether it's a Tuesday, Saturday. Run hard, recover, run hard, recover. Do that for 12 weeks and guarantee you'll get fit. It's as simple as that. And I honestly think, I look on Strava a lot and I see other runners, which, to be honest, I think some people just need to come off it and just focus on what they're doing themselves. And I'm not saying that to you, Josh. I'm just saying generally. I think
Strava, I'd probably end up running harder than I do now. Not slow.
But I don't get why we're trying to squeeze too much in the week. Why are we progressing on a Monday? Why are we going steady on a Sunday? Why are we sessioning Tuesday? Why are we doing steady Thursday and then another session Friday? And then there's no time for recovery in there. No wonder we're all getting injured.
I agree. What puzzles me slightly on the flip side is, how do you know how quickly you recover?
Precisely.
So for Josh, he's able, seemingly, as he just said, I mean, we'll see in a few weeks' time, but his feedback this week is he's done a pretty intense week where he's not, in my mind and your mind as a coach looking at it, not really recovered properly. But his feedback is he feels good. So how do we know how an athlete is fully recovering? That's my question.
I think that's the thing, isn't it? I think you've just got to get in the lab. You've got to do blood lactate levels to see. So you see, for Josh, his blood lactate levels could be really low for a heart rate of, let's say, 150 for a recovery run. Whereas mine, I know my lactate levels are also quite low. But then I'm doing the opposite to what Josh is doing. So it's a case of just getting in the lab and testing to see them levels. And I think everyone, if you've got the resources, is to do that. So you've got your levels of where you need to be.
Yeah. Cool. Sorry, Matt. You continue with your week. It's a good conversation, though.
No, you're fine. Yeah, well, we're second week of professional hours. So that brings us to Friday. So Friday's pretty much my first session for the last, it's been about 8-10 weeks of no sessions. due to the Achilles. So I actually had the same session as Josh. I was going to do 5 sets, but the Achilles was getting a little sore. So I did 4 times 90, 60, 30. So I had 60 seconds in between the 90 and the 60. And sorry, Josh, I actually had 45 seconds on mine. But you're younger than me and you're a lot fitter than me. So
he recovers faster.
And then I had 90 seconds rest in between the sets. So just did it out on the road on Pant Lane. I tell you what, it was good to get the lungs and heart pumping a little bit. And pace wise, decent, you know. I mean, I was rocking some all right paces considering I've not done much. I think I averaged about, let's have a look. I was running about 440. I actually got down to about 432 on the 90.
He's got some
sub 430 on the 60s, and then I managed to get under 4 for the 30 seconds. So overall, I think that's why I left it at 4, because I was pretty happy with what I did.
So one of his
recovery in between either.
One of your 30 seconds here, you've gone over 200 meters. You've done a 28-29, 200 meters on the road, wheels. It's because he's recovering.
Yeah, I still got it, mate.
Ask his Achilles that.
Still running, bud. So then 2 mile cool down, and then on Saturday, I had to get up early actually because went clay pigeon shooting actually on the Saturday, which was good fun. Managed to hit 19 out of 25. It's pretty decent, isn't it?
Is that good?
I'd say that's pretty good. 19 clays out of 25.
I would say over 20 would be good.
So I'm a seasoned pro now. So I did 6 miles, 7:53 pace. Heart rate was 117. So we're getting fit. So that's all I did on the Saturday. I actually went to the gym, I think, actually after trying to get back into the gym at least 2 times a week. I actually got my other cross trainer collected on Thursday, so I'm now without a cross trainer in my gym. And do you know what? I've decided that I'm going to buy another one, because that'd mean I've had 4 ellipticals and they've all broken. And that brings us to yesterday. Yesterday was 12 miles, and Josh will like this one, 6:24 pace.
Jeez.
So I actually found this relatively, well, it wasn't hard, but I could tell like this was a run that my body is not used to. And the Achilles is a little bit sore after this one. So sort of started off at around 7s and then just progressed a little bit. So yeah, overall, pretty decent week. So I think I hit 61 miles for the week.
He saw what Josh did and thought, I'm going to beat him by a mile.
Do you know what would make you that run feel more comfortable? Doing it every day.
Go on. I'd be broken in a week.
So my question is, you did that Saturday run 7:53 pace. How do you do it? And I was thinking this on one of my runs this week, and I've been trying to run easy. When I run easy, I can get to about 7:20, 7:30. I just can't really go much slower. Does that like come naturally to you to be able to just jog that slow?
Yeah, I think the slowest I can run is about 8:30. To be honest,
Because
do you know what?
I do a shakeout before a race, and I'll do like 2 mile, and I always know, like, I'll be running along for that first half mile, and I'll look down, it's like 7:30 pace. I'm like, right, I need to slow this down. So I'll end up backing it off to 8-minute miling, but I'm really forcing it to go that slow often. So yeah, I just find it interesting how you can go that slow.
I mean, at the end of the day, right? So I go that slow, but look at my Friday session.
No, I like it. I get it.
So I don't personally think there's any correlation, and I'm sure there's loads of listeners who will obviously say otherwise. As far as you need to run slightly quicker on them easier days, so you don't lose your speed. I understand that, but do you know what it is? It's a confidence thing.
Yeah, it is.
And we're so ingrained, so programmed as runners to be, we need 100 miles a week to be good. We need 2 hard sessions or 3 hard sessions a week. We need long runs to be good. We need to keep doing that. We're so ingrained to think that this cookie cutter approach is the right approach for everyone, and it's not. And we're seeing that now. We're seeing people doing less volume and doing different ways of training, because there's no just one size fits all.
Yeah, interesting. Cool. Right. So 2 boys hit over 60 miles. My week, not so good. So as I said last week, I started it with COVID. So when did what we said last week was 21st. I've ruined my own thing here. So
Yes.
I went out last Monday and tried an hour, and stupidly I went up some big hills. So and as I just said, I ran 7:03s, Matt, even with some big hills in. So I think my heart rate was a little high.
I'm surprised you can't run that, so given your technique as well and your style of running.
Yeah, I can with other people. That's the issue. I think it's more, as you said, it's more, I think it's like a confidence perception thing that I kind of have in my head. I need to run 7-minute miling, even though I know I don't. And also, like, if I'm out running, if I was doing 8-minute miling and I got passed by a few runners, I don't think I'd like it. And it's just, it's odd, isn't it? But anyway, I mean, my heart rate was, I'm talking 138, 140. So I was pretty happy that it was okay-ish for the pace, but the hills were a bit of a struggle. I think I might have even walked one of the hills, And what I noticed after about 40 minutes on this run, I sort of got that, if you race a 3K and you finish and your like lungs burn and you have that breathlessness.
Yeah, it's horrible. That's
what I get in these runs. And it's a lack, in my mind, it's a lack of oxygen. It must be that the oxygen levels must be low, and therefore just not, I'm obviously just creating lactic, even though my heart rate's not going too high. I'm not getting the oxygen to.
Did you test yourself before you started running?
What, COVID wise?
Yeah.
So
no, pregnancy wise.
No, I was just wondering if you meant with the oxygen meter or for COVID. So
COVID.
I'm COVID free.
But did you test yourself at the start of the week before you trained again?
I can't remember if I did. I should have been. Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I did, because I couldn't go into. I don't think I still had. I think I'm still testing positive at this point. Which I'm going to say, I tell all my athletes to not run until they test negative, and I tell them not to worry about getting back into things. But it's so hard.
Someone needs to take their own advice.
I know. And I was having this conversation with somebody yesterday, and it's bizarre how I can't, like, tell everybody this, but can't do it myself. Anyway, so Monday, not great. I had Tuesday off because I just thought I'm pushing it too hard. But then in my head, got to Wednesday and was like, I need to push it again. So I did another hour, 7:04s, on a similar loop. So again, quite hilly. And it was as bad, if not worse. I think my heart rate was higher. So that's good for the confidence. So got to Thursday and I'd been busy. I think the problem with last week, as you said, Matt, was the weather was so good. And I just really missed getting out. And for me, getting outside on the trails or just going off road across countryside is more the incentive than the running. I just wanted to be out. It's a good break from my desk.
Hopefully better this week with the clocks as well.
Well, the weather's worse now, isn't it? Now I can maybe start running. The weather's looking terrible. But anyway, Thursday, I felt dreadful. So I did 15 minutes. If you look at my Strava, I ran a mile down the road, turned around and went back. I just had no energy. And I think that was maybe also a combination of hay fever. I'm getting it all.
That's hay fever. That needs to do one. Is your nose like proper blocked up all the time? Because my nose.
Yeah. So today it's been dreadful. I've get over one thing. I feel like, honestly, I was thinking about this on Sunday. We're week 46 of this show. I've not been running well for 46 weeks. And I feel like every month I turn around and say, I've got some sort of illness. I never used to be ill before this podcast. It's a curse. Anyway, so Friday, that was a easy. I did 10K, so 45 minutes easy, 7:05s, ran around the fields. Had a few comments from people about COVID and heart rate. My heart rate wasn't too bad, but so that Friday was a bit better. So Saturday, it's Mother's Day weekend. So Saturday morning, went to the garden centre. Jenny got some stuff for planting outside. So I said I'd go for a run when I got back. I texted Ruth and said, are you running? And she said, yeah, about to go out for her session. And I thought, I'll join her for an hour. I ended up making many wrong turns on this run. And we did 2 hours 15. So I did 18.8 miles. And
nearly half your weekly mileage, isn't it?
It was.
Back ended the week.
Honestly, by 10 miles, I was done. But neither of us had a phone. I don't even know Jenny's number anyway. Ruth's husband was in Sleaford, so miles away. So even if we got to a phone, we were screwed. So we had to run back. And I've never, even in a marathon, I've never felt so bad. I was just drained. I spent the rest of Saturday sat on the sofa feeling sorry for myself. I just couldn't physically do anything. So there, that was a good run. Should we just look at my heart rate? I think it got quite high. And I labelled it with feeling like death. So yeah, we weren't running overly quick, but yeah, I mean, heart rate in the mid 150s. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't get too high, like really towards threshold, but yeah, my legs have shot. So I didn't bother running Sunday because I needed the recovery. So that was my week. Josh, do you know what that was?
Less than me and Matt.
I don't know.
44 miles.
44. Oh, I thought you actually, yeah, 44.
Oh, not too far behind you.
Not bad.
Could have run Sunday. Anyway, back on it this week, apart from the hay fever. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, COVID is not good. That's my summary. And yeah, respect it. I got carried away with trying to prove Josh wrong, and it didn't do me any good. So yeah, also don't listen to Josh Lund's advice on COVID. Is my summary. Right. Have you got anything from Down Western quickly?
Yeah, of course. All right, here we go. I'm going to try and do this without screwing up on any of the words, even though there's one in here which I may screw up on. It's getting hard to think. Ignore that bit. That's just him messaging me.
we'll cut that bit out.
This time of the year, the rover is the natural enemy awakens after hibernating. The rubus fructose, sorry for the long word, Matt. I shouldn't have said that either. Commonly known as the bramble. We all have our favourite roots and know where the bushes lurk. Growing up to 3 inches a day, if they get unchecked, they could trip you up or scratch your favourite top. Weston's wise words is to once a week on a recovery run, take time to sort these out whilst you're on a run. So there you go. So stay away from the brambles.
Have I
Is his
told
wise words?
have I told the story about when I went into Morrison's with sort of black currants all around my mouth?
Yeah, well, I've definitely heard this story. I don't know if you said it on the podcast or not.
Yeah, so Josh just ran 64, what is it, 64.25
Yeah.
at Great North Run. Got me fired up. So I was like, right, I'm going to smash this long run now, and ran home from mother-in-law's. And it was quite warm that day. And I think I ended up doing like 22, 23 miles at 5:40 something pace. Just rolling. Anyway, I was getting picked up from Morrison's, and just a mile before Morrison's, there was a nice little bush. So I had a little gorge on that bush. And I then
Bet you did.
strolled into Morrison's, waiting for Jenny to pick me up to get a drink, and got loads of weird looks. Went to the toilet, and I just had like black or blue, whatever color it is, all around my mouth from the berries.
Yes.
And my hair was like, people must have thought I was like this homeless guy. Just, you know, you've got those white bits around your mouth as well from running.
I was gonna say, have you ever? I've had races before where you know when you get like crusty salt on the face and you don't realize it's there, and you talk to people.
Yeah.
What on earth are you doing?
So that's that. Right. I was going to talk about just quickly the taper, because next week is Manchester Marathon, and everybody's in taper mode. Any top tips for taper for the listeners? Josh, go for you.
Wow. Top tips for Josh.
It's quite fitting, bearing in mind the conversation we had at the start. Mine would be probably not running too slow, because I find if I in the taper, I feel very lethargic. So a bit of steady running.
How steady are we talking?
Not silly, probably. I mean, I'd probably start no different to what I normally would, but I'd probably just get down. Say, for example, you average, I don't know, for me, for example, I would probably start at like 7-minute miling, maybe get down to 6-minute miling.
So like a minute a mile average, slower than your race pace.
Yeah, probably something like that. Yeah, and I'm not like steady, don't force it. But just so you don't feel like really lethargic, because you're not going to be doing much and your body's going to be used to doing a lot.
Yeah, I would say that, and I suggest doing a session like even 3 days before the marathon's fine. Just do 1 mile at marathon pace, and then just do like some sort of longer strides will be ideal, just to get a little bit of pep in the legs.
So I'll give you so here's my standard taper. So 1 week out, Sunday, I'd probably do about 80 minutes, 12 miles easy. And for me, that would be easy-ish. So probably about a minute to a minute and a half slower than marathon pace. Then Monday, just an easy run. Tuesday, I do a session of something like 6 by 800, just turning over the legs. So 10K-ish pace to threshold. Wednesday, easy run. Thursday, I do a 2 mile at marathon pace within an easy run. And then Friday, probably 35 minutes. Saturday, 25 minutes with some strides, then race day. So, a bit of quality on Tuesday, that marathon pace on the Thursday is nothing more than confidence for me, just keeping the legs turning over. But a bit like Josh, I do my easy runs. I wouldn't, whereas on like an easy 35 minutes on a normal week, I might run 7:15. I might probably run 6:30, 6:40, just to keep the legs fresh, poppy. Whatever, I think you just do whatever you need to do to make yourself feel good.
Just do whatever you do, what you've done for the last 10 to 12 weeks or however long your block is. Don't change anything as far as your easy runs for that week.
I say other than the amount you do.
Yeah.
But
Well, of course you're going to reduce your volume, but I'm saying just on the pace on your easy runs.
Yeah.
But I would keep some leg turnover in there if that's strides or if it's a little session. I think it's important just to keep something in there of quality. I see a lot of people who think the taper is just, I'm not going to run all week before the marathon, but I think that's probably the worst thing you can do, is turn up on race day having not been used to running 5-6 days a week, and then turn up to race day having done 1 run in that week. So yeah, there we go. Taper talk done. Should we go to some results quickly? Josh, were you at Cardiff Half on?
So I actually was on the bus going past at the start. So, but I saw the results. So Kadir Omar was the winner in 62 high.
62.46.
The exact times.
62.46.
Yeah, and then Mohammed was second, and then his brother Zach was third.
Yeah, so 62.52 and 64.05. I was a bit surprised by that, to be honest. I thought they'd be a lot quicker based on the start list. Matt's done the course. It's fairly fast. Yes, yeah. It was a bit breezy, but the conditions were pretty good on Sunday morning, weren't they, Josh?
It was a bit breezy, to be honest. I've spoken to quite a few people and said it was like a bit windy, but I didn't feel it but I wasn't running. So,
I mean, the barrage is always windy.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, I mean, even if it was windy there, you're going to get it on your back in other places. So,
yeah. So, female wise, Natasha Cockram took the win in 70.47, which was another big PB. You know, her running that sort of time again suggests it's not a slow course. So, who was it? Bronwyn?
Bronwyn was second in 74.04, and L 20man was third in 74.58.
So yeah, some decent results there. There wasn't overly loads on this weekend. The other sort of big race was the road relays. I think the Scottish National Road Relays were on. Central, one per usual. And then I know Northerns, Southerns and Midlands were on. Who do you run for now? Cardiff? You're not allowed in the relays,
we can't even put a team together, mate. It's an embarrassment.
Are you? I thought you're not allowed to. Or...
No, we can do the 12 stage, but we can't do the 6 stage for some stupid reason.
You can't get a team together. So Midlands wise, Not C took the win. They've done that many a year. Omar Ahmed was popping out a long leg there. He was quickest. And I'm surprised he wasn't in Cardiff, Omar Ahmed. He likes a big race, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And
because that's his cousin, isn't it?
Is it? Kadar.
Yeah, I think so.
And then Coventry took the women's title. Fastest long leg, Katie Holt, who's had a decent year so far. Gemma Steele got the fastest short leg, so she's back. Northerns were on Sunday. I know Leeds took the win in the men's dominant. I mean, they had Phil Sessman running and Osama Mesalek, so plenty of guns in their ranks. Phil took the fastest long leg. Nigel Martin, who's doing Manchester next week, took the quickest short leg. Ladies wise, I've forgotten who took. Was it Vale Royal took the win? I think it was. Abby Howarth led them. I think Jess Judd got the fastest long leg, and Lauren Hayes the fastest short leg. I think the Southerns, I haven't seen the full results.
I can tell you the teams.
Highgate and Cambridge Harriers for the women.
Yeah, so the men's was Tunbridge, and then Highgate, and then Bedford.
I thought Highgate.
No, Tunbridge won. And then Cambridge Harriers won the women's. I'm not too sure on the second and third.
There you go. Who are Cambridge Harriers?
They're based in London.
Why are they called Cambridge Harriers and based in London?
I assume it's a place called Cambridge. Belgrave came second and Aldershot were third in the women's.
There you go.
Cambridge actually won by nearly 4 minutes.
Interesting. I don't even know. There was a guy who used to run for them years ago, but
Dean Lacey.
Dean Lacey, yeah. That's all I remember.
I remember him.
Right, but I know you've got to shoot fairly soon, Josh. But any predictions for Manchester this weekend before you go?
My money would be on Johnny Mellor for the win.
Any sort of time?
I would think he would get under the Commonwealth time. You go 2:13 low, because I don't think they'll go out too quick. I think they'll go just inside the time and race it, and then I think he'll pull away. In the women's, I actually don't know because I've not seen an updated start list for a while. Have you?
You got a dog? I have. I've got one right in front of me, which I'm back on, bizarrely. I know Becky Briggs is running. I think she was the.
She the fastest century.
She was, but I mean, this is great radio, but I now can't see where she's gone. Oh, I'm in the wrong section. Sonia Samuels is listed. So the fastest goes Sonia Samuels, Rosie Edwards, Naomi Mitchell, Philly Bowden, then Becky Briggs.
Philly's not running. I know that. I would say Naomi could win. I'm going Naomi.
Okay.
There you go.
Matt, any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it'd be, I think I agree with you both on the women's side. I'd say it'd be great for Johnny to win Manchester. I think he just wants to sort of get a win of a marathon under his belt, doesn't he? So it'd be great to see him win that. Time wise, to be honest, I think he just wants to, like you say, just get the W. But I think he could pretty much definitely get under the commie standard, and maybe, I don't know, it could maybe even go in the 2:12s. It depends on conditions, doesn't it, and how good it is. I mean, he could even go quicker, but it all depends on how it is on the day and if there's people around him.
Yeah, it's the conditions looking decent. I'll just read out a couple of top entries. So Johnny's quickest on paper. Kev Seaward comes next. I'm not sure if Kev's doing it. Scott Overall, Derek Hawkins. I don't think Derek's doing it. I'd be surprised if he was, after he didn't run brilliantly this weekend at Cardiff. Then Matt Clowes, he's not running. Nick Earle's not running. Nick Torrey, Frank Baddock, Norman Shreve. And then
I think Frank will have a good run. I think he's definitely a potential to be up in the top 3.
I would say Frank. If Kev's running, he'll be up there. Nigel Martin's in some form. Not sure he'll go with Johnny, but he's in form. And then as I scroll down to sort of people of half PBs who could be a danger, I would go Ross Millington, Andy Hayes, Paulos Sorafel is an interesting one. Paulos could go very well.
I think all of them guys you just named are going to be in that top group, sitting behind. If they do, I mean, I assume they're having a pacemaker.
So they've got a group of 3 pacemakers. It says under 2:14, and that is the New Balance group pacing it. So Ben Connor, I forgot the other guy's name, but Ben Connor and the 10K guy,
Adam Craig.
Adam Craig. I think maybe one other.
The man with 2 first names.
So have I.
It's true, actually. Yeah, I feel like Adam and Craig are 2 very strong names. But saying that, I guess Scott is too.
Yeah. So yeah, it could be a quick day. I think there is a live stream. So if I can find the link, I will.
Are you going up?
No, because I pulled out. Well, I have. I seem to have pulled out, and then my name's been put back on the list. A bit like you. There's no accommodation, is there? So I wouldn't want to take it anyway, as I'm not racing. It's just a bit of a struggle. It's about 3 hours for me to Manchester, so it's a bit difficult to get to. And yeah, I'll see what I can do. But anyway, women's side, you've got another interesting race. I know Josh just said Naomi for him. I would say Sonia. If Sonia's in any sort of shape like she used to be, she would be the danger in that field. She's got a PB of 2:28. Then you got Rosie Edwards,
and she's got a lot of experience, hasn't she?
Yeah, Rosie 2:31, Naomi's 2:33. It could be close, and then you've got some debuts. Callie Thackeray, who's got half PB of 72:16. Lucy Reed. Callie Thackeray, just mentioned her. I keep hearing her name on the Aussies podcast. Is it the same? I know she goes out to Australia. But if it is,
I have no idea.
She raced up. Yeah, she's been racing in Australia, 15:26, over 5K. So Callie is the daughter of Thackeray, used to run for Barnsley, used to have the half marathon, one of the quickest half marathon British. She's ran like a low 60 half, her dad.
Right.
Anyway, she's in Australia, so whether she'll come over, but if she does, she'll be a danger with a recent 15:26 to her name. It's pretty rapid. So yeah, some good racing, and there's some other debuts further down the field. Linton Taylor, do you know Linton? He's got a PB of 29:37 over 10K. It's from this way. He's finished third at National Cross. So
was that the lad that did a 30K tempo around the track at marathon pace?
No, that's our guy Will Bryan, who's on our Patreon podcast.
Ah, right. Fair play to him.
Like,
How many laps is that? That's what?
25 times
25 is
75.
75 laps. That is madness. Fair play to him.
But yeah, should be a good race. That'll give us.
Should be very good. It's exciting to have so many Brits in a good field in Britain. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and as I said, so we've got the Patreon show. We've got Will Bryan and Kieran Walker. They're both racing, who are hoping for, I think, around 2:16, 17. But there should be, if there's a good pace group at that, you might have 15, 20 guys who will all go with it. It's just hopefully a few of them don't go too hard, because that's been the danger at Manchester. I think last year they went off at 2:12 pace, didn't they? I'm sure they were inside 31 minutes through 10K, the two boys who were at the front. So yeah, should be a good race. Any other results from last weekend you know of, Matt?
Oh, it was a fairly quiet one, wasn't it? Obviously, the relays were on, but yeah, there wasn't that much going on. I know overseas, it was Istanbul half.
Oh yes, yeah, world.
Saw that
world lead.
there was a dog running with a group of athletes.
Let me just clarify. When you said dog and I said Helen Obiri, I was talking about something else. I was talking about the lady.
Two different things, yeah.
So what happened?
Yes, of course. Yeah, I saw a video. I think it was in Istanbul. There was a pack of bikes running on the one side of the road, and on the other side, just stray dog, just chilling, just running at the side of them. So that was quite interesting. So there's some fit dogs out there.
There is. But anyway, Helen Obiri took the win in 64:48, and Rogers Quemoy won in 59:15. So it's definitely a quick course, isn't it? I also saw, when you said that, on Let's Run. Do you know this CJ Albertson, who he'd led at Boston, was it last year? And he still hung on for like a PB of like 2:11. Did he run in the end? He ran 2:10:28 in training. So maybe don't tell Josh that, because you know what he'll want to do next.
Yeah, hasn't he got didn't he do 2:09 on treadmill as well, before he did Boston or something?
I follow him on Strava, and he does some ridiculous things on the treadmill. He runs like 32 miles at 5:10 pace on the treadmill. So I'm not sure his calibration's all there, but yeah, he did.
What himself or on the treadmill?
Yeah, both. But yeah, on Sunday morning, he actually did 26.5 miles in 2:12 flat. He said, lead bike took me 400-meter detour. So 2:10:28 unofficial, 26.2 split. And that looks like it's pretty much an out and back type run. So not really much.
So what does he do from that?
Well,
where did you go from there?
it's 22 days to Boston. That's 3 weeks out. You're doing a marathon at PB pace. He's surely left it out, hasn't he?
He's done now.
It'll be interesting.
I'd be surprised. You can quote me on this. I'd be surprised if he runs quicker than that at Boston.
Me too. And it's interesting, isn't it? Because obviously this is the run that gets the kudos and the comments on Strava, as you were saying earlier. He's got 48 comments, like, amazing, you're the best runner ever, all this stuff. I'm not sure that's what he needs. Surely he just wants to get a good time out of Boston and be happy with it. But there you go. Fair play to the man. Solid on your own. Even if it's, GPS is a bit inaccurate, he still run 2:11 out there, which is crazy. Right, what are you up to next week, Matt?
Well, I brought nearly 1 kg of Lindor in Liverpool today, so I'll be working my way through them this week.
You heading over to Manchester?
No, I don't think I'm going to bother. It will be good to watch, but I mean, I'm only about an hour away from the start, but I just feel like it's going to be a bit of a pain to sort of get down there, park up, and sort of, have a wander around. So I'll probably just watch the stream, to be honest.
Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. Although I've got quite a few, I think I've got 5 athletes running Manchester, so it'd be nice to get up there and give them some support. While Josh is gone, how are you gonna approach next week with him? Is he gonna follow your advice next week? Have you laid down?
Well, I mean, he sends me sessions that Jake's doing in the week. I was like, well, that's great for Jake, but that's not what you're going to be doing. So we will see.
How are you gonna, as a coach? How are you gonna approach it? Because obviously, what at the end of the day, both of you want him to run well. It's just trying to convince him that it's very hard when you speak to him to try and convince him that the kind of tried and tested scientific methodology is the way forward. So how are you going to
this is the thing, and like I said earlier, it's a case that so many runners, and look, I'm not saying that I've got my shit down, because I definitely don't. But there's so many runners out there that think that they need, like, running quicker every day, week on week, is the way forward to get better. It's not the case at all. To improve as a runner, you need to be consistent with training. So being consistent with training means 2 sessions and recovery in the week. You improve from the sessions, not from the running. That helps with age with the recovery. Yes, there's loads of things as far as capillary density and all that sort of science stuff behind it, as far as the easy running. But the main thing is to recover from sessions and then adapt. And the thing with Josh is he's losing track of the simple method of training and how you train, because this athletes out there that they're running the 31-minute 10K runners, which is absolutely fantastic. It's a great time. But why is a 32-minute 10K runner running 6:30 on all their runs every week?
Yeah.
There's obviously some sort of there's something there, isn't there, that's amiss. Yeah. So I don't know.
He's a challenge. He's a challenge.
He's a challenge. Work in progress, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, my hope is it just, I think in his head, because he doesn't feel tired, well, even if he does feel tired, he convinces himself he's not tired. It's just going to bite him again in a couple of weeks, as we keep seeing. We keep going through it on this podcast.
He does his first session back on a Tuesday at 5:15 for a tempo. I said that was difficult. Then he did then on Friday he went double and some and ran the same pace. Yeah.
And I know sometimes listeners might think we're being harsh and critical on him, but at the end of the day, we both want him to run well, and it's just interesting trying to convince him that maybe there's another way of doing things. So we'll keep doing it until he one day might listen to us, or you in particular.
I'll be grey when that happens.
I'm already grey, mate. So myself, just want to get some consistency back, get some running in. I'm feeling much better. Legs still a bit, I've still got some remnants of COVID and hay fever, but hopefully can get some sort of session in towards the end of the week and build some consistency back in, because that's what I've just been missing.
You need to put a race on the on the board.
I've got one, haven't I? That's what I've just started. So it's still 5 weeks away, so it's got plenty of time. I've got a 10K, and then hopefully build on that in the summer, and then get back to some marathon racing in the autumn. But I'm turning 35 in 2 weeks. Going to be a vet.
Big category.
What are we? 2 weeks. Is it 2 weeks today? 2 weeks today. Changing category. So
nice.
Might start doing the Masters race then.
Are you excited for it?
Oh, can't wait. Yeah, get some titles.
It's a competitive. It's a competitive category, I tell you.
Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, other than that, I'm going to enjoy some sleet and snow, which is coming our way on Thursday. Can't wait.
Yeah, I've heard that.
I'm getting back to running, and then the weather's, I think it's just doing it to spite me. Just gonna annoy me because I missed the beautiful weather of last week. And
well, that's it, isn't it? We seem to have a week in April, or no, so March or April where it's lovely. Then that's it then for the whole summer. So hopefully not, but. And
it's nice. Clocks have changed. Spring is here. It's going to stay light till 8 o'clock. Might go out for another half an hour tonight. Probably shouldn't.
I'm not. I'm going to go and eat some chocolate.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll wrap up here and we'll chat again next week. I've got potentially an interview coming the next couple of days. So by the time this goes out, I might tag an interview onto the end. If not, I'll tag the chat between Will and Kieran that we had last week about their training weeks and their building to Manchester. And speak next week when we've got plenty of results to go through from the Commonwealth trial.
Perfect. Have a good one, boys.
All right, mate. See you soon.